Dianne, and welcome to the Christchurch gang, the gang of old and young men.
Well, I'm delighted to be on board.
So tell us all a little bit about who you are and how you ended up in Charlotte and how you ended up taking on this extremely challenging assignment.
Well, it's a kind of a long story, actually. I was born in South Africa in a town called Durban, and had my childhood and my university days there, and then I got married and I had two children, and then about 10 years ago I moved to the United States with my husband and my children, and have been here ever since, and have worked primarily in non-profit promotions and marketing and advertising, and worked very closely with musicians, being a musician myself, and have just been drawn to a number of musical endeavors. And so my relationship with WDAV, which is our classical music station here in Charlotte, which is a wonderful organization and provides 24 hours a day classical music for everybody's listening pleasure. And it was one of the first things that I in fact found when I came to Charlotte, and have listened to it ever since. Anyhow, Ben Rowe, who was formerly with WDAV, suggested that I would be the right kind of person to assist with the day-to-day organization and procedures that have to go in with a tour such as this. And he very kindly introduced me to all of you, and I'm thrilled to be part of it.
It's going to be you, two mums, and 40 men on a bus for 10 days. What are your hopes and fears for this?
Well, I think there are a number of things that one has to do to keep things going smoothly, and I think that boys that sing in a choir are fairly well prepared. I think they're fairly orderly, and you know, they are used to being together as a group, and I think that makes it a lot easier than people who are not in a group like that. So I think will make it a lot easier. I can be very nice, but I can be a real dragon if you don't listen to me.
We should probably have your children comment on
Well, you know, I think things like passports get handed in, luggage gets taken care of. You know, there are all sorts of basic things that can go wrong, and so those are the kind of things that I'm going to be focusing on, and then everybody's happy. As long as they've got food in their tummies and they're not thirsty, and they've got their clothes with them, and they've got their passport, and they've got money, they'll be fine.
Yes.
So that's what I'll be taking care of, all those little minor details.
Yeah. And tell me about your own musical background.
Well, I started playing the violin, in fact, when I was 6 years old, and then I moved on to the flute, and I played the flute until well after graduation. I played in various orchestras and taught at a diocesan school in South Africa called St. Mary's, and also played the piano. And so I taught a bit of school music, and then while I was teaching, I sort of drifted into working in an advertising agency for a little extra cash, and I'm afraid that's what lured me away.
I see.
And I always wanted to manage musicians and manage orchestras and promote musicians and promote classical music, and so that's really where I've ended up, which is really lovely. I still play, and I was raised in very much an English traditional musical choral style, so you know, went to a diocesan school myself, and my brothers and sisters also went there, and my cousins and nephews and nieces all go to similar schools in South Africa. So I'm very much used to this lovely music that I'm sure I'm going to hear for the next 2 weeks.
Well, I must say, in some ways I'm envious of you, in other ways I'm glad it's not me. But anyway, have a wonderful time, and I hope that during the course of the tour you might be able to sort of have the odd little post on Facebook or something and just tell us all how it's going.
I certainly will, and I'd love to do that for you all.
Thanks a lot.